Chelsea Football Club nil, Crystal Palace nil, the good, the bad and the downright ugly. We're going to give a match review, but the reality is very simple. Chelsea today weren't good in the final third. They were very good in the defensive third. A lot of people are going to complain about us on the ball, but off the ball we defended well, we were resolute. Palace are a good team. There is no shame in drawing to Palace. The last two games they have played that have been competitive, number one, Liverpool, they've won the Charity Cup. Secondly, what did they do? They beat Man City in the FA Cup final. The reality is this is a good team. They're resolute, they're well built, and we're going to break this down. We're going to go into the little details. We are going to talk about Enzo Fernandez not being good, Cole Palmer having limited touches, Joao Pedro being anonymous. We're going to talk about the good, the bad, and the downright ugly from today's game. What I need from all of you is number one, hit that like button. Number two, subscribe if you're new. And number three, share this out. Tell your friends, tell your nan, tell your gran. It's the best way you can support the channel. Let's break this down. It is deflating. It is annoying. We all expected a win. There was a feel-good atmosphere. However, the reality is struck and we need to talk about it. I want to start with the good, go to the bad, and then go to the downright ugly. The reason I want to start with the good is because I think there needs to be a positive spin on this today. It's the first day of the season. We can't be overly negative, but at the same time, we need to be realistic. And trust me, I've got a lot of constructive criticism I will go through. But the first good thing is we should have lost that game. We should have lost that game, and on another day, we lose that game. We could have won it, because we did have the chance with Santos, we did have the chance with the Lap, we did have the Estevao chance, but Eze scored a good goal. Eze scored a good goal, and I've never heard of that rule in my life. I promise you, I've played football at Sunday League level. I've never heard of it. I've watched football for 20 years. I have never heard of the 1 meter rule being enforced. Maybe it's existed, it's never been enforced. So VAR went in our favor. And then there was a penalty incident that went in our favor. Sanchez comes out, punches Guehi in the head. He skimmed him. We've seen those given in the past. Onana done it, and after Onana done it, they've changed it, and Trafford ended up giving a penalty away for it. I'm really surprised that they didn't enforce it, but it worked in our favor. Listen, sometimes you win some, sometimes you lose some, and in this case, we won one there. The other good thing I want to talk about is Chalobah and Josh. A lot of people are going to be critical of us on the ball. Defensively, they marshaled Mateta. Look, there's a Mateta test. The reality is, a few years back, there was a test called the Mikel Antonio test. Can you handle Mikel Antonio as a centre-back? And I always said, whenever I saw anybody get signed, right, in the Premier League as a defender, I used to ask, West Ham away, can you handle the Mikel Antonio test? The new one has become Mateta test. Because Mateta is absolutely brilliant at pinning a defender down, making him look weak, bullying him. And in my opinion, Josh done very well. Look, Josh Achimpong is very skinny, he's frail, but he needs to develop. He's 19 years old, he's going to grow. And to be our backup centre-half, because that's what he's going to be. Tosin will be in that role. Tosin will be starting there. I thought he done a very good job today. And I thought Chalobah on the left-hand side, he wasn't an issue either. He defended well, reliable, we kept a clean sheet. This is what I mean. Like, I went on Twitter at halftime, the meltdowns were unreal. However, we kept a clean sheet. So defensively, we done okay. The other positive is, physically, Santos, Delap, and Estevao looked good. Genuinely, they came on. Estevao, everyone said, can you handle the physicality in the Prem? I think we've answered the question. There were 3 players that boxed him in. He outworked them, straight away jumped in the tackle, gave a very good foul away on Munoz when he was about to break on us on a corner. But other than that, we created 3 good chances when they came on. There was one that literally, we had a really good triangle play where Neto to Palmer crosses it in, it bobbles out. Estevao, in my opinion, should have left it, but his touch was in an uncomfortable position over the bar. Then we done another good combination. It came to Santos on the edge of the area. Brother, strike it nicely. Relax, calm yourself. Rash, left foot over the bar. Didn't work out. Delap caused a chaos for himself to get an opportunity, struck the ball straight at the goalkeeper. Genuinely, it was frustrating, but that's what we created. There was one off the line on the 3rd minute from Cucurella. Other than that, there was nothing else. On the attacking front, we were poor, and I think we need to break that down now. We spoke about the good, now we need to talk about the ugly. Because the reality is, we need to get into the ugly, then we'll get into the bad and be constructive. Number one, Sanchez's passing was woeful and rash. What Sanchez does is he feeds negative energy around. He's got the ball, he's panicking, he just kicks it. It's like, you know, when you go for a drop kick in rugby. For those of you that have played rugby, it needs to hit the ball needs to hit the ground first, and then you lace it. You know them ones, and it goes up. In this case, Bro, the guy's consistently looking to catch teams on the break. That must be a tactic. His passing started going wayward. He made good decisions. Honestly, he made one really good save from Mateta in the first half. But there were 2 mistakes in this game. The first goal that didn't count, it went through him. You have to get yourself around that ball, man. It has to take you into the net. You can't literally have it go through your hands. I'm sorry, you're a goalkeeper. The second thing, that was a penalty. He punched Mark Guehi in the back of the head. I would be fuming if we weren't given that. And genuinely, it's annoying. But we got away with one today. We genuinely did. The second thing, the wingers. Look, a lot of people were criticizing that in the back 3, we were not passing through the lines well enough. The problem was, right, when you're playing like that, Palace absolutely congested the middle. There was nothing we could do. You're trying to get through. What happens is, Palmer's first touch, there's 2 men around him. Caicedo's first touch, there's 2 men around him. So what you have to do is quickly 1-2 combination and get it out wide. The few times we did that and we got it out wide in the first half, Neto and Gittins Hall of Shame performances. Gittins couldn't take his man on. He genuinely could not get separation. He struggled. Neto didn't even try to take his man on. Everything was hesitant, everything was stop-start, everything was extra touch. And what ends up happening when you do that, in my opinion, is you end up building up no momentum. And I'm not criticizing these players. One, I think a lot of them are going to be unfit at the moment. But 2, Gittins is young. I was saying this when we signed him. You guys wanted a prospect signing, the ownership, not the people watching, because a lot of you wanted the same type of players I did. You wanted a prospect signing. You've got your prospect. This is what's going to come from Gittins. Jamie Gittins is going to be inconsistent. There are going to be weeks where you're like, oh my God, we've got a shooter. And then there are going to be weeks when you're like, this guy's horrible, get him off the pitch. And today was the horrible, because Estevao came on and changed the game. Estevao got the ball, was positive, was direct, and the ball was on the floor because both Estevao and Neto, Gittins and Neto, very, very lackluster. And a lot of people are saying, oh, we don't need Xavi Simons. Why do we need Xavi Simons? Broski, we need Xavi Simons. Even though Xavi doesn't play on the left wing, Xavi will be able to cut in, cause some chaos, one-on-one ability to carry the ball. We're crying out for that. We are desperate for that. Now the bad, because there's a lot of bad to talk about, right? It's all constructive, don't get me wrong. Reece James had a bad day in the office. Yo, you know them ones when you clock into work and you start looking, you literally start looking at the clock and you're like, when's this gonna run out today? I kind of just want to get home. Reece had one of those days. Eze gave him the runaround. Genuinely. Reece picked up an early yellow. Reece gave up away another foul. In the second half, Reece was better. He got taken off because obviously we're managing his fitness. However, bro, we were absolutely lackluster and it looked like he was heavy. And what's funny is because the last 2 games he's been absolutely class. The 2 pre-season games he looked sharp. He kept Liao in his pocket. He done really well against. I think the Liao one was the one that was very impressive. He just looked robust and ready to go for the season. That's why we had so much optimism. We're like, yo, these lot have got so much athleticism around them. Today, Eze gave him a run around. Genuinely. Reece done better as the game went on, and it was a similar thing for Josh Achampong as well. He gave 1 or 2 passes away, but defensively he looked better. The other thing, Palmer could not get on the ball, and neither could Joao Pedro. Joao Pedro played in the 9. He was deprived. When I say deprived, I mean the man was starving. Calorie deficit. Looking to get his 6-pack before the summer, and has done no work all throughout the year, so he needs to go in 6 weeks, shred 10 kilos. He was literally eating 1,300 calories a day. He was starving of the ball. No touches. Same thing happened to Cole Palmer. Could not get the ball in any pockets of space. We could not open up anything. It was looking horrible. I'm not exaggerating. It was looking horrible. I don't know what the solution is. I am not a manager. I don't know what you have to do to get those 2 on the ball, apart from when we feed it to the wingers where teams defend like that, the wingers have to be more productive. They need to be more direct. They need to make sure that we open them up. The other thing, Enzo looked off the pace, man. Again, I said this last week. I said he's going to play, and again, he's looked off the pace. Enzo's one of those that needs a few games to build up speed. Problem is Santos came on. Santos looked a bit more on the speed. But Santos didn't do anything to warrant saying, has to play next game. This is the issue now. You see what I mean? This is what I'm talking about. Enzo looked off. We have options. But today, his touch was baggy. He was loose. He genuinely just felt off, man. All the optimism about the season was like the life was sucked out of the performance. Even towards the end, they were tired. You could tell they were exhausted. They didn't even have the energy to go out all out to try and win the game. The corners and set pieces. Firstly, we got like 8, 9, 10 corners. Apart from the one that was cleared off the line, we absolutely need to work on our delivery. Delivery comes in, there's a little flick on. The flick on is not good. Joao Pedro loose header. We genuinely just weren't creating enough. We weren't optimizing what we have. I think part of the reason is we're just not a big team. When you have Neto, small guy, Gittins, small guy, midfield, Caicedo and Enzo aren't the biggest. Palmer, frail, not big. Cucurella, small. Reece James, not exactly the tallest. Josh and Chalobah are our only threats. Joao Pedro, I think, is 6'2". Only threats in the air. And they're not like the most imposing. They're not Gabriel. You know what I mean? They're not going to impose themselves and attack across. And for me, that's a problem. Defensively, the way we defend, we hold a high line. So when the ball comes in, every time it's coming in, we're living life and death. Genuinely, we're on edge. I'm genuinely worried every time the ball comes in. It looks like they're about to score. And not because we're bad at defending them. It's just we play such a risky style that we play them offside. So if it goes in, it's offside. But the problem is the one time that it doesn't work, and it goes in, I'm going to be furious. And the final thing is, you got to take your chances. This was one of those games, yeah? And I always remember this game. I don't know why. Didier scored against Hull on the byline, crossed it in, and he chipped the goalkeeper. I think it was Didier, yeah, it was Didier, because he ran off taking his top off. It was mad. I was going crazy, right? We played horrible. Horrible. But winners win when it matters. And in this case, Estevao chance, Neto header over the bar, Delap, pot shot, and what's his name, Santos opportunity. You got to do better there, man. You got to do better. It's a point. It's exactly the same point we got last year. It's frustrating. It's a clean sheet, but no goals scored. Am I going to cry? No. Am I going to be negative? No. But we need to be realistic and we need to be observant of what's going on. You know what I mean? Like, we need to be observant. There are a few things we need to build on next week, and we need to go and beat West Ham. It is what it is. Listen, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, let me know your thoughts, because the good, the bad, and the downright ugly is back. So yeah, let's get some positivity, and the latest news regarding the centre backs is attached over here. Go check it out. Let me know your thoughts. Hit the like button on your way out.